and he's the author of Catlo, C-A-T-L-O. And let's bring up and give a welcome to Virgil Erwin. Thank you for your service. And you probably got a little drift of what I'm going to ask you first, right? Do you really? How do you figure that out? I'm sorry. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Talk about Vietnam and then lead us into the book.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. And I guess first I would like to say thank you to all the men and women serving today and all the veterans from the bottom of my heart. I say thank you for your service. I was raised in a Navy family. My dad was a Navy pilot, and I worshiped the ground he walked on. I wanted more than anything to be just like him. Because of my eyesight, I couldn't fly. So I volunteered for destroyer duty after I received my commission, and served 2 years on a Navy destroyer, and then I volunteered for swift boats in Vietnam. I thought that would be something as dramatic and daring as what my father had done, being a fighter pilot. So I volunteered for Vietnam, and I served a year and learned a great deal. I grew up in that year, and I think there's something called post-traumatic growth. Well, certainly I benefited from that. But then I decided I didn't want to stay in the Navy. The war did have an impact on me, and I didn't think I could continue doing that. So I had a very, very great civilian career, and I blocked out for 36 years all memories about Vietnam. I just blocked them out. I was invited to be part of Admiral Hoffman's foundation, which was, he went to T. Boone Pickens and got a lot of money, and two other gentlemen as well, and created a foundation to support veterans, wounded veterans, men and women coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan. And our job was to interview them, assess their needs, and give them a financial grant. And then we never mailed the checks. We always met with them face to face to give them this award. And I had a meeting with a wounded Marine at Camp Pendleton. And it was a very tense meeting. And all of a sudden, reflections of Vietnam came rolling back. And I thought, I've got to get these things down on paper and to maybe communicate that story to my two boys, but also write it in honor of the men that I knew and served with in Vietnam as a tribute to them. The story doesn't have so much combat. It has more of the tension and expectation of combat, and so it also conveys the difficulty we had in capturing the trust of the Vietnamese and getting them to let us help them. So it was it's kind of what the book is about.
How do people find out more? Do you have a website?
Yes, it's www.catlo.net, and there's an excerpt of one of the chapters, and there's some reviews on this, and you can purchase the book through there or any bookstore or Amazon.com.
Have some of the soldiers you served with or military you served with, have they looked at the book?
Yes, in fact, most of the reviews on the website and one of them on Amazon are from men that I served with. And one of the interesting things is that they say that this book helps them communicate their story to their wives, daughters, and sons in a way that they find still difficulty in doing themselves. So it's a compliment that they feel this is a real reflection of the service that they had.
interesting what I just read here, but Why don't you read that?
Cat Lo is about conflict of compassion for the South Vietnamese who are caught in the middle of war without option of neutrality and confusion by the question, who is the enemy and who is not? I think that is probably exactly the same situation in Iraq and Afghanistan.
I was just thinking that, because 3 trips over there, I've interviewed many Iraqis, and it says it right there. It's exactly what's happening.
Thank you very much, and I'm honored to be here with you, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Do you want to give a shout out to the troops?
Thank you guys and women. I've met so many of you that have come back less than whole. Boy, I hope that all of you come back, and I pray for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. Is Raymond Morrison? Oh, good, great. Okay, our next guest is